Boom. Ethereal synchronicity 444. What we say, people. Boom. Live and direct. Scorpio season. Kicking it off. It's 5 on the didot here. That could be any time where you are on the didot. Assuming you ain't in one of them mad crazy time zones. Anyway, happy birthday, Scorpios. Playing Prodigy, know how it really goes. Spitting flows, kicking mic on, I don't know. But you can hear me on the Yeti, and I done told y'all that I'm rhyming steady, you rip it and did it. Done told y'all that I told you that I kick it, it's raw and uncut. I don't really give a. Yeah, I'm trying to hold it down because it's early in the show and I know what I'm going to say, but I don't know what I'm going to say. So I wrote things down so I can't. Yeah. Yo, so anyway, listening to a bit of I ain't gonna tell you what I'm listening to. But yeah, Mr. IMD Scorpio. Get me gassed. In fact, you know what? Let's let the track run out. Right, anyway. So Scorpio season. How many Scorpios could I name off the top of my head? Well, more than I've even named here, but these were just the ones that I wrote down straight away. Let's keep this real. So I started with MCs first, hip hop, and then I just branched out with a couple other people just off the spur. But it's far from everybody that I could think of that's a Scorpio. There's just so many. So do not think that like this is like all the Scorpios that I could think of or I'm shouting out. But yeah, it's just a handful just to show you how many, and a little test for me. All right, start with Chic Luch, yeah, the locks, because I already covered him on this channel. He's a Scorpio, so happy birthday to everyone. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to say it a lot of times. Big Pun, rest in peace, Scorpio MC. Tech 9, ODB, E40, BOB. I don't think I was aware BOB might have been the most recent one. Prodigy, that's who I was actually listening to. Born not advert, can't take not advert. And FOBO, LOUS, fabulous, definitely a Scorpio. And then other Scorpios that are named. So yeah, man, let me bring the energy up in this thing. Other Scorpios that are named. I gotta get this in now because I almost guarantee you, yeah, in probably sometime into an hour and 2, no more than 3 hours, there'll be somebody on that site cracking off. And my man downstairs is real quiet. So yeah, man, happy days for me, for them all. So H2O, water season. Yeah, my list. So anyone who knows about the conscious movement, they got the pills, red and blue pill, both Scorpio. They share the same birthday. I would say yesterday, but I ain't been asleep yet, so technically it's 2 days, but it's yesterday in their time zone. Gary Vaynerchuk, same birthday, same day. All 3 of them be 44. So happy birthday to them. Leo DiCaprio, definitely Scorpio. Drizzy Drake, Future, Scissor, Dina Howard, Hillary Clinton, Seth MacFarlane, Francois Mitterrand, Big Psych of Tupac fame, rest in peace. Eric Holder, everybody's unfavorite bad guy. The guy that supposedly basically, yeah, but not even supposing, man. It's on camera. He shot Nipsey also. Charles Manson, Julia Roberts, Danny DeVito, Whoopi Goldberg, Wayne Rooney. I've got Marie Curie. I've not checked that one, but I'm sure like she got something to do with discovering nuclear. Check me all up on the back of my neck anyway. Leave that alone. Rooney. Benjamin Banneker. Ian Wright, Minnie Riperton, Dwayne Allman. Right? That's not like a full list. That's about 24 on that list, I think. So anyway, what can I say about Scorpio that people don't know, or that you following my channel may not know? Come to find out. Well, I could say a whole lot, but I'll just go over the basics. Ruling planets, planets related to Scorpio, the sign, are Mars and Pluto. Now, Pluto is the most common one known in modern, but traditionally, before Pluto was discovered back in 1930, Mars was given the rulership of Scorpio. Other interesting facts of Scorpio is currently we have the sun in Scorpio, hence why we're calling it Scorpio season. Sun spends about 30 days in each sign. Hopefully I'm not speaking too fast. I realize that I'm naturally probably a quick speaker to some people, especially if they don't understand the language. So maybe I'll try and space my words out a little bit more, elongate them, pronunciate them. I'll do what I can anyway. So yeah, Mercury currently, if anyone's familiar with good old Mercury, the planet closest to the sun, is just actually, in fact, people would have seen the pictures. Actually, I've seen a few pictures pop up on Instagram and other places. I'd say mainly Insta because the way things are at the moment. Mercury's just actually gone. So if you want to know what a sun conjunction is or how it works, to me, it's like, in one sense, it's never out. Right, okay, it's in the Earth's point of view, right? So from Earth's perspective, from where we are on Earth, it's when Mercury crosses our path in the line of the sun. That's when we kind of like, it's a conjunction of a high degree, basically very tight orbs. And we've seen the pictures of that, astronomically speaking, which basically means in physical terms, astronomically being astronomy, being the physical position, location of the stars. In real tangible terms, astrology, just to break it down for those that don't understand the difference, astronomy is what I just spoke about. Patrick Moore, Sky at Night, me looking through the window like, you know, that's the money accent or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's like with a telescope, that's astronomy. Astrology is the interpretation of what it is we're seeing up there and relative to the correspondence of the actions of what's going on here and what we observe to be going on up there. Right, got that out of the way. Mars, one of the rulers, is on its way back to... They didn't give me no thing for the stream, man. What are they doing? What happens if I do this? Okay, it's not giving me... I mean, I don't know what I'm going with that. But yeah, Mars anyway is about to pop back into Scorpio. Sorry about that. I was looking for my my link and that in the thing and that, but oh, welcome to the game. So Mars anyway, yeah. Let's see when... No, in fact, when I say let's see, it's about 2 days off. 2 days from now, Mars is going to pop back into Scorpio. Ooh, wee. So Mars is powerful in Scorpio because it's considered a sign of its rulership. Aries is the day, Scorpio is the night. So you've got this thing called sect in astrology. SE Scorpio season. Sex, just say it straight out. Ain't shy. Don't lie. It's roaring uncut. But yeah, sect is what I was talking about. SECT. So anyway, there was something on this thing when it said, is this for children? Or it actually said kids. Is this for kids? Is this suitable for... No. I mean, don't ask me what that does, if that makes it overeating or not. I don't know. I said it was, you know, not directly directed for children. So if you are here and you are a child, maybe you shouldn't be here. Telling that, you know what, yeah, telling somebody that is Scorpio season, that's like, yeah, no, that means yes. So anyway, yeah, just giving you an idea of a flavor of that's a Scorpio trait, although I've said it's a human trait. We're all parts of the zodiac, bear in mind, yeah. Everybody consists of all 12 signs in some way, shape, or form. But your sun sign, the place where your birthday falls within the year, does have a considerable, like, you gotta say almost all of the time. It's hard to find charts where suns don't actually have no important role at all. They can be superseded by other planets all the time, but if the sun's totally ignored, I can't see that working. So anyway, yeah. Oh, so I wrote a bunch of keywords under here. Some of the traditional ones and others maybe are kind of built on from. All right, I'll list them off anyway, just to build at the start of this video with some consistent content. Scorpio facts, Scorpio bits. So I've done people. I've done, you know, planetary rulership, planets going through, planets about to go in. Also, yeah, Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio. So it means it's going through the sign in one direction, But from my perspective on Earth, it seems to be going backwards across the sky. And it's in the sign of Scorpio, so that's what the signification of a retrograde is, and it happens to be positioned in Scorpio, close by the sun, passing back past it. Inferior and exterior conjunctions, these are all next levels of what's the word, terminology, right? Aggie Carnage, right? That comes with the Scorpio season. So yeah, anyway, like, because it brings extremes, life and death and everything. Yo, keep it fully real to the fact in it. If I don't mention it, basically I heard about a fire that's very severe, almost Grenfell like, happened not too far from here in Manchester, basically, but like in one of the further south outer suburb parts of it. Call it a suburb. I wouldn't call it a suburb. It's just like we have certain little towns. Greater Manchester is a bigger city, just to get it. But yeah, there's been a fire, and some students that I, study with and stuff, and whatever. Like, so yeah, I hope they're all right. Like, and everything's all good with that, because that sounds pretty drastic. But yeah, there's been like kind of some like I say, life and death is a permanent, constant, ongoing thing. Change. So that's one of the givens in life. You can't expect to be on this planet. And the only thing, yeah. So there we go. Anyway, the words, but like the fires and the crashes, they've been extreme, like drastic, like you know what I mean. 2 cases of, I don't want to speak about it, but like, you know what? It's like I said, raw and uncut, so like I can't be going on shy and acting like it don't be the case, but like I'm aware of what I speak about and what I think of, and all that kind of thing. But just to break it down real to you, to do my job properly, yeah, like it's been high speed crashes that have caused fatalities to people involved, yeah, and serious injury, numerous occasions. But like I seen one in the paper, and then I heard about one and seen that was in the paper, to the point where the cars actually like basically put a hole in the wall. Yeah, car's gone so fast. It's not like just hit the wall, it's totaled the wall or the house or the structure. And then it's just left a gaping hole in the wall, and people have died. Like, this ain't no comedy, no comic book, like being serious. Like, obviously I've got to try and keep the channel light-hearted, but keep it real at the same time. It's raw and uncut, innit? Like, it's the balance of life and death, innit? So anyway, like, not try to be too morbid, but I understand the situation. My heart goes out to those, literally. Like, and like I speak to my ancestors and everything, or like, contact with whoever feel like it's tapping in. I mean, example, who did I think of? I think Minnie Ripperton was the one, but who else was another one that I thought of? I mean, Big Psych. Like, these are just people off the top, but I was thinking Scorpio. And yeah, life, death. So obviously I'll come up with a few people from the other side. So yeah, in Scorpio season, you got Halloween. Yeah, I mean, sounds obvious to me. Yo, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, all that stuff. esync444. But yeah, like 31st of October, Halloween. Yeah, this strange thing where it's getting a big phenomenon. Like, I can't 100% say, is it a check me out. Can't 100% say if it's an American convention. I can't really quite remember. It's just been something that I've grown up and have seen it around. But like, it's really big in America, and it's been really what's the word? Marketed. There you go, marketed over here in the UK. So 31st, also All Souls Eve being Halloween, and All Souls Day being the 1st. So, I mean, it's supposed to correspond with the Day of the Dead, although I've seen that being celebrated like in December or something as well. Like, it confuses me. But like, I believe it's like corresponds with that anyway, which is something that they traditionally celebrate in Mexico. Just so I've said that. So anyway, the key words, because I can't promise you something and not give it to you. Extremes, sudden life, death, crisis, transformation, permanence, taxes, underground, hidden, depth, core, recycle, transition, revenge, karma, passion, unconscious in brackets, obsession, tyranny, Didn't put terrorism, but it was, you know, it's one of those words that I've seen before. Mafia, rule breaking, organized criminal syndicate, and rebirth. Yeah. So they're just things that I've put like for keywords related to Scorpio and Pluto in particularly. So if anyone didn't know that, you've had a little schooling on a bit of like what Scorpio is about. Got to keep it real to the channel. So do I look at someone's chart or have a quick look at what's going on in the sky at the moment? In fact, yeah, I got to have a look at what's going on in the sky at the moment. Wouldn't be fair, would it? Wouldn't be right. All right, I won't be able to see myself properly. So, you know, bear with me if anything. You know what it is, man. Roll and cut, roll and cut. Roll with me. Right, I opened this up before. Also, Mercury was retrograde, mad thing. All right, madness. So yeah, I didn't quite start the show at that time, but hey, check Mars being on the ascendant. This is a mad thing. This is when I did the Lewis video, just for the joke of it. Mars was rising on the ascendant, so maybe that's kind of what it is. It's like I'm going to do the thing, I'm going to do the thing, I'm going to do the doing the thing, boom, 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 boom. So maybe it's like the moon's on 6:58. What's it on now? I'll throw it on the real-time clock. So 6 degrees, 58 minutes in Cancer. Just so that made that clear. Also, this is why I'm laughing about this particular chart right now. Oh yeah, I'm on the screen, and you ain't seeing this screen. So this particular chart right now. Oh, sorry, when I pulled it up for 4:53 a.m. Manchester. Yeah. When I pulled it up for like this time, it had on my Eastern Ascendant 24 degrees Libra, which is basically Speaker and out Taurus. So, like, yeah, it's time to get it in for me, relatively speaking. Okay, you got a kind of Grand Trine. It's coming closer back to the Grand Trine situation. So, yeah, Mercury's slowing down, right? Just so you get it. It's more almost at the end of its retrograde period. It's 3 weeks, but technically it's 5 because you got the whole situation of where it stops, which we call a shadow, basically. Oh, sorry, where it goes over the period, it's going to go backwards over. That's about a week and a half, maybe. The 3 weeks that it goes backwards, from our perspective, because it doesn't actually go backwards. And then the week that it takes to come back through, or I say another 10 days again. Like, they happen about 3 times a year anyway. Right, the easiest way to explain this is basically, right, that don't want to be lazy. It's just for anybody that doesn't get it, but like because it just feel like it's been rehashed and rehashed. Sorry to put a face, but yeah. I always think of it as things going around the track. Let me jump back on here, see what the illustration of me looks like, so you can see. So Mercury here going around the sun. Why is that the sun? Ooh, the sun. Mercury going around the sun. Everything that gets further away from the sun, this big old light here, the sun, yeah, takes longer and longer to make the journey. Yeah. So that's why our year is 1 year. That's a year. It's a return. Look, return. Oh, look at these illustrations. Man's going in. So Mercury does it faster than us, basically. Mercury's doing this. So every time it goes past us and basically laps us around this thing, pardon my raw and uncut ebonics, yeah, we get what I feel like is the Doppler effect. Now, to get that, the Doppler effect's the official name for basically, yeah, let me explain the Doppler effect. Sound real smart, but like, yeah, my geeky self, like, it was just the fact that I made the connection between the two. So the Doppler effect is basically when you hear sirens or sound of a certain capacity coming at you in one direction, and it sounds like a certain speed and tone, right, and pitch, yeah. And then as the sound is traveling, so it always generally tends to work with ambulances and police cars, very easily exercised. Once it's actually past your zone, the sirens will tend to change sound and tone. This is to do with the length of the sound waves between you and the moving vehicle from which the sound waves are coming from. So essentially, this corresponds in my head, my connection is that all of the planets, in a very simplistic, basic view, are sending some kind of transmission to this planet and this planet to the rest of the planets. Basically, gravitational pulls, they all work together like a system, don't they? So I'd say it's like a draft. It's almost like a draft when man just breezes past. Ooh, ooh, literally waving the draft right past my own face. So that's what happens. That draft, yeah, it's like, ooh, that little chill that you catch there, frosty seasons, yeah. That's like when Mercury's whipping past Earth every 2 minutes. Like, it's not actually like a cold planet. Although it's cold logic, thinking, rationality. In terms of astrological interpretation, but the physical planet is Mercury, Quicksilver, very hot, placed by the sun, fluid in its ability to change, actually related to the mutable signs of Virgo and Gemini. If you want to get astrologically technical, Mercury. So thoughts, communication, ideas, and practical implication through the Virgo side. So the Gemini side was what I was talking about up here, and through here even more so as well. But then to actually apply this in a way that's been then thought about and processed, that's more Virgo. But both of them ruled by Mercury for the basis of this conversation. So anyway, yeah, that Mercury retrograde, like I say, is a situation where it is basically, I think, astronomically speaking, this is why I precursored astronomy, basically made its return around the Earth, because, oh yeah, basically, sorry, around the sun, and basically beating the Earth. And it happens my logic is this: it happens 3 times a year, maybe 4 times a year. And the reason why it corresponds to the thinking there, like in my logic, I would say logically speaking, but my logic is probably almost a logic of its own, or subject to interpretation, without research, off the top, basically, yeah. If it takes 3 months for the Mercury to do a full orbit of the sun, then yeah, in any given year, depending if the Mercury retrograde starts in the middle of the year, so this is why it's 3 to 4 times a year. It's gonna occur 3 times in a year that makes this lap, and this coincides in my mind with when it would probably go retrograde, which creates that Doppler effect of something basically sending a wave or a sound or a transmission, and then it shifts into a position in alignment with where we are, and it's just like a wind. It throws it off till it gets back to where it normally is within the perspective of things, basically ahead of us. I would say it moves faster. So yeah, that's the Mercury retrogrades explained in the most basic / unscientific / my mind jumping through it in the way I broke it down. But that's the way it comes to me. That's an easy way, basically. So Doppler effect is the sound part of what you call it technically, and me doing all of this hand movement part is basically a basic illustration of, yeah, so showing you in physical terms what I'm speaking about, just so that there's some connection. Because although it sounds obvious to me, when you put a picture together with words, it increases. Yeah, call it a physical PowerPoint. Right, anyway, what do I want to do that interests me right about now? Because I don't want to stay on here too long today. No. But at the same time, it's not a bad time to actually live it up. Right, so Scorpio season, you got to push through. You got to be tough. You got to be hard. You got to take it to the next level. Scorpio does have a very, very deeply hidden sensitivity. By all means, do not get it twisted. But at the same time, it's fixed water. So that being the case, it can stay true to a course, depending on what the situation is. Although obviously it's aware of the nature of change within life. In fact, that's the old paradox with Scorpio. As much as they're aware of change and try to affect change, they can have a difficulty in actually affecting change to self, because their job is, to some extent, to change things. But like a lot of change starts with self, which is where you get the phoenix. How could I forget the phoenix, the old phoenix in the ashes rising? So yeah, it dies to be born again. Do you know what I mean? So you could almost say it's a situation of 9 lives. But like, yeah, so up in flames, takes a death, and it comes back reborn, stronger, wiser through the turmoils and the streps and the depths. To me, I've heard this so many times where I get it and I've lived it as a part of my experience. Your Pluto and your Mars and whatnot, and your Scorpio. Or these are three, and the 8th house, yeah? All these signatures run strongly throughout my life in a way or form or shape. Also, what am I doing here? Anyone that's got like initiative, yeah, I don't have an idea of what I'm doing here. Right, if I don't have to spell everything out. Shuffling some cards. What could these cards be? And what could they do? What could they do? And should I pull one for me and should I pull one for you? Okay, how many fell is the real question. Sometimes, yeah, that's how it works. This is how cards get drawn. I'll be laughing, yeah. If it's the 3 cards. Oh, it felt like more than 3. Thought so. But it's not too many, so I guess these are the ones that what I'll be read. And the order happen to pick them up. I could try and read them upside down, but it's called reverse, by the way, reading tarot cards upside down. Sorry, technicality. Where is my... I have a trusty sheet for this. I know I do. You are not it. You are not it. Ah! It don't matter. That's a good catch. Okay, check this out. Better hear myself. Just trusting that's how I can hear myself. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Do-do-do-da-da. Yes, man's in this thing. Okay. I'm playing in it. Check this out. Easy. Easy. So all that table, right? Oh, sorry about that if you heard anything on there, because I didn't have the mic plugged in. Boom, da boom. Email address. Use that if you want to get at me. So anyway, yeah, my little table, little tarot table. Oh wow, okay. If I pulled put the 4s in the center, I'll just lay it out like this. I really need to learn some spreads and some cards, but you know what? Let me try and get intuitive about this. Fool, yeah? First card of the major arcana. So that's stepping out into the blind on a journey. Generally normally has a dog and a man by a cliff and don't look like you see what he's doing kind of thing. But as I had it explained by a Mr. Scott, you never actually see the guy at the bottom of the cliff actually fall. So it's like, he does speak to take to a new journey, but he is called the Fool. And it's the very first card within the tarot. It's actually classed as 0. And I've managed to pull that card on a live way. Then we've got a 7 of Swords. Now, I'm using the Rider Waite deck, by the way. Right. Right, so we've got 7 of Swords. And this dude's got 5 swords in his hands. But he's looking at 2 next swords. Yeah. And in my particular Rider Waite, that's the thing. If you actually start looking at your cards and really intuit them, I know you can hear me because I can hear me and my mic's there. But me not having my face towards the screen's probably a bit of a no-no. It's not about seeing me, but I'm guessing you don't want to see the back of my head and all that. You know what I mean? I'm aware. So let me this will do. Ding 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 ding. Mr. Got it there. Right. So got a Fool, I've got a 7 of Swords. Yeah. So looking at my 7 of Swords and try to intuitively tap into it and get something out of it from what like the cards say one thing and they have a described message, but if I can try and tune into myself and what my feelings actually really saying, it will help because this is how you're supposed to read the cards. They're an extension of yourself and your own intuition. And I've managed to pull it off a couple of times where I've done read, like I'm not totally a stranger to this, but I'm just basically explaining that I'm far from an expert. You know, you learn as you practice and get better. Trial and tribulation, trial and error, working on the job. So anyway, card 1, hello, the Fool. And that's literally the first card in the Major Arcana, which is 22 cards. There's 56 more cards, which are considered the Minor Arcana. So, Seven of Swords was the second card, which in my particular deck, we have this guy, right? He just looks, I ain't going to say he looks shifty and that, but he kind of smiling. He's running away with the 5 swords. He's got a red hat on. You know what? Bonnet. And they'll try to describe a card to you and that, yeah? There's the card. So check him out, yeah? So just so you get what's going on. Fool dropped out first, yeah? Got the Fool, Fool's cool. Yeah. 7 of Swords. In fact, it's not even how they dropped out, it's how I picked them up. There you go. But I've seen enough tarot to know that's how it gets done. Often enough. So this guy, yeah, reading the card, looking at it, looks like he's getting off with the 5 swords, and that was funny as I was reading that card. But he's left 2 behind him and that, and he's thinking, oh, can I get them? So it kind of signifies like the obvious feeling will be someone like kind of like got a lot in the runs, but it's like maybe I could if looking back rather than forward, but at the same time hands are full, so he's getting on with things. Looking in the background of this card, like I say, I learned how to read these cards more accurately. You've got a situation of looks like people in the back, also houses as well. Then the third card that fell was an Ace of Pentacles. And Ace of Pentacles, strangely enough, seems like a gift. So, you know, definitely some kind of gift to be had for the day or at the moment, or at least in this spread. And then, so yeah, I could show you my Ace of Pentacles. But like basically, it's in this particular deck, it's a man holding a pentacle out. It's not even a man, actually. It's a cloud holding a pentacle out. And a garden below it. So that speaks to like a gift in the material, physical sense. So that's an earth card. So the Fool, I think it relates to Uranus, so technically you could call it an air card, I guess. But it's been said to relate to that. Swords, 7 of Swords is definitely an air card. Ace of Pentacles is an earth card. Okay. Then 9 of Cups has come up. And for 9 of Cups, we got in this particular deck, and I guess the deck that you use actually, what's the word? It does help or co-line with some of the message, if you see what I mean. So in this particular deck, class of rider weight deck, I've got the guy with the 9 cups sitting all happy and that. There you go. Yeah. And then to top it off, we got the I don't know, I feel like it's a woman in this card, but it could be a dude, but it's someone basically smuggled off, yeah? And that's the 6 of Swords. So a gift. Happy man. He seems to like have his ducks in order, I guess. That's one way to translate that card. In fact, yeah, I'm calling it the way I see it. And then a journey of some sort, like, so it's on the way out, like, you know, to get moving with this thing. So I could say to you, and if it applies to you and I, universal reading, there's a journey to be started. You're looking at things and you're thinking, oh, can I take these 2? As in, like, you know, 4 hands, you got a full bag, you still try to snatch more. Maybe you could stand to leave without that. So this is me without even reading an interpretation from the book. This is just me looking at the cards. Yeah. Herd reader. So yeah, all right. You got a dude looking at the cards. Sorry, the swords that he ain't got. So he's got the 5 in hand and a 2 out of hand. And yeah, he's facing backwards towards the swords. so he's not looking on what he's doing. Then you got the Ace of Pentacles in the middle of this spread, and that's kind of saying that the day's a gift, or there's some kind of gift to be had for today, materially speaking, that you can actually make an opportunity or start something, put something into place, that you can reap rewards from, financial, materially speaking. Then you got the Nine of Cups. It's going to make you feel real good. The Cups, so I didn't say, is a water card. Chalices, even, it can be referred to as. And that's leaving somebody in this situation of, sorry, let's be straight. But yeah, this guy's looking pretty chuffed. So, and then, I mean, the order of the cards might be a thing, or it might not be a thing. But then it's followed by the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords isn't that bad a card, even though the swords are probably considered the, if you're going to say negative, the most difficult, or yeah, of the cards in the tarot, from what I've been learning. But yeah, this one looks like a journey away from, to do, yeah, probably return fresher and stronger at some point. So yeah, that's probably speaking to the Scorpio season, really, actually, to some extent, because that's kind of like the death and the rebirth, the Phoenix energy. So Mercury's still retrograde, so yeah, that's probably what it is. Fall back. Yeah, there we go. Astrology and tarot are connected, clearly. So, oh, and Swords is an air card, in it. So Mercury being retrograde and that, fall back, in it. Right, okay, be calm and that. So this time's a gift. Okay, the translation gets deeper the more you start to think about it, intuit it. I did say the cards are an extension of your own intuition. I'm always a bit scared to read them, but once you really like getting, like, push myself out of my comfort zone to do this right about now, really. But nah, like, man's big like that, big boss, big kahunas. Raw and uncut. So yeah, the gift. But yeah, you got the Seven of Swords and the Fool. So there is that situation where you're on a journey for something new. You think you might be getting more. You see a gift. I will say something, if the colour does stand for something, the yellow win pretty much all the cards, and red. I mean, don't get me wrong, tarot decks, but the colours do mean something. And yellow's quite happy, uplifting, bright. So new ventures ahead, but with the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords, it's been slightly lighter in colour. I would say there will be yeah, a seeding time. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with the Rider Waite there. And then I have another deck, actually. And Mr. Synchronicity doubles in pairs. Let's see, he's come with this. Mr. Synchronicity. Mr. Synchronicity. What we got for the day? Show me the cards. These cards are different, laid out with simplicity. Sound like I'm speaking a spell, but I'm speaking implicitly. To my cards, for the people, for all of us, for me, for you, for us, what we're going to be, what we're going to do in the short term. Yeah, tarot just speaks to really short term, kind of like in the moment. You can look in fact, you can look in the future with it, and you can also use astrology to do that anyway. But just to give you an idea of how I understand it to work. So you can see these cards are being shuffled, like basic standard, nothing intensive. It's no croupier business here, but getting the job done. Okay, I think that one wanted to come out. Oh, I half pick them. Oh, 3-2 out there, I think. Give myself another shuffle. In fact, you know what? Actually, I normally just pull out a 3-card read, so the 2's come out there. Oh, wait. Okay, I think I've seen that before. Right. So you got a Tower card, number 16. What day is it? The 16th. So coincidence or not? Yeah, Tower card. This particular tower, you got man, woman, lightning strike, building. Woo! Yeah. The Tower card can be signified in many ways. In this particular deck, it's kind of close to the classical way. And then you've got the Queen of Swords, which is the sort it out. Oh, right, okay. could see how that could be the situation. So that building burnt down, and now that, yeah, that's a tower situation as well. So it's firing the, okay, illustrated in the cards, isn't it? Right. You got the Queen of Swords situation, which is right. The nonsense needs to be cut. This is what you need to do. It's kind of like, it kind of have judgment connotations to it, or someone that's clever, savvy, knows how to make choices and decisions, snappy. Basically, someone that's been there and done it, and, you know, well practiced, well polished. Yeah, got the throne, a queen, so to speak, Queen of Swords, air card, and then that's followed by a Page of Wands. Page of Wands is actually a fire card, which but it's a hasty card. To be fair, when I say a hasty card, the pages are pages in the knights. They're like the premature. They're not like kings and queens yet. So there's a lot of passion within the Page of Wands, but maybe not a lot of experience, so to speak. So there's going to be a changing of the structure of some shape or form. Some wise, swift decisions in the pertinent action probably should be taken to some extent, or at least, you know, use your judgment. And yeah, I'd say don't go overboard, but there is the passion and flame to actually get something new started. There you go. That's a nice interpretation of the Tower, followed by the Queen of Swords, followed by the Page of Wands. So it's like a thing of don't overdo it, but like, yeah, the Page of Wands, this guy, you can see it in this card, looks like he's kind of ardent and that, like, you know. So it's definitely something in the works, yeah, to get something new going. But like, pages always just have a warning of not to overdo something. Right, anyway, me, I'm seeing that the time is, it's always a bit longer than I was expecting to do. I'm going to keep it within my 44. So that means I got another 2 to speak to you. So esync444 is the email address. I've been quite busy, and as you probably see from videos in the past, there's been a bit of a change around. So yeah, it's just been a situation ongoingly. All right, just if you've stayed with us this long, give you some like of the little secret thing is, well, you know, the realness, then the raw and the uncut. Oh my gosh. So if you look very, very closely at the top of the screen by the bookshelf, you'll probably spot a crack, depending on how big your screen is that you're viewing it on. I mean, if you're viewing it on your phone, you ain't going to see it. It's minute. But like, yeah, like, ting boss up. To me fingers, them are fat. Oh, Lord. But yo, so Mercury rules the hands in it, yeah? And then, like, you know, the handiwork, and yo, like, before I even know how I job, man, like, oh, I just keep it straight, drop with the thing. Lord. Yo, but I got up like a soldier, don't get it twisted. Someone ran over, tried to help me, and that I didn't even have time to, like, I was in that, like, that mentality of got to get to the place. I didn't want to turn around and do the whole comedy, lit you with a 6x2 and that, and then you like in hospital because you tried to come over and help me and that. So that person who wanted to come over and help me and that, thank you. I'm not sure where you're from, but thank you anyway. It was much appreciated. Yeah, it was a moment, but you know, it was a moment in it. Like, as you see, man got up and ran like a soldier on some die-hard business. Anyway, yeah, 43 minutes, so we're rolling up to 44. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, get at your boy, and much love for being with me. Thank you. We will be back soon. Deuces.